Bitcoin and crypto is in the reds. We see about 10-15% down from the last 24 hours. And so obviously the natural question is this just a small healthy dip, or are we going to see a 50% correction here? I want to dive a bit in. I want to kind of reflect a bit. Tell you a bit of what I think, and then obviously what you should be doing. Should be selling? Should you be buying? Should you be hodling? Well, lots of fun with today's video. Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you crypto fit. I discuss the beautiful world of decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, many beautiful things. Obviously, things around Bitcoin, things around the crazy markets. And today depends obviously when you're watching, but Monday, 11th of January, we see a lot of the markets in the red. We see most of the cryptos down 10-15%. And so obviously a lot of people are asking, what does this mean? Should I be selling? Should I be buying? And I want to answer this question. I actually want to go through my three largest holdings. So that's Bitcoin, DeFi chain, Ethereum. I want to discuss those three, but I can tell you that probably very similar things apply to other markets. So I think that's the very first part that I want to share here. A lot of it is correlated with Bitcoin at the moment, so I think that's really important. First and foremost, let's kind of start off with why do I think we see this pullback? Let's face it, this pullback was way overdue. I think many people have been talking about it for weeks already. It came way later than expected. It's absolutely normal that the markets pull back, especially on such a strong up pull. Don't forget, the latest time I bought significant amount of Bitcoins, right? So I'm not talking about just little amounts, but significant amounts was in March last year. And that was at around $4,000. So now it's over $40,000. So just think about this, right? So people made 11, 9, 10, 12x on the entire thing. And that's just in the last year, right? And then there's a lot of people who bought like 2 months ago, 1 month ago. And it's just been going crazy. Don't forget that, right? And so at some point, there's always this pullback. Lesson here is, looking back at that point is always easy because people come up with reasons why it happened right now. No one knows. The only thing you can know is that it's happening. I think that's really, really important. The other thing I want to mention here is actually a bit of the right thinking in all of this. And I want you to pay attention because this is key. If I asked you, when was the better time to buy Bitcoin? Was it a year ago at around $8,000? Or was it, let's say, right now at 32,000 or 35,000, wherever we are? What is the right answer? If you're retail, so that means if you don't have much experience, if you are very price driven, if you don't really look at both sides of the coin, you would say, well, of course, a year ago, because there the price was only 8,000. The thing is, what you're completely forgetting, and you're getting a strong lesson here in game theory, in decision making, obviously in price to value. A year ago, you could have never known where the price went. So you couldn't know that the price went from 8 to 32,000 where we are right now, right? You couldn't. So you can only use the facts and figures at that point. And at that point, I made videos discussing how the value at that time was about $10,000. So Bitcoin was actually very close to its fair value. And so people that bought there, they had very limited upside when it comes to immediate value. And at the end, that's what you want. And so a lot of people, a lot of institutional buyers, a lot of sophisticated buyers didn't see much upside in buying it because the price to value was so close. And don't forget, price is what you pay, value is what you get. So you always want to get a lot of value for very little price, right? So that's the key thing. Now, how does this look today? Well, a year later, we saw that, a lot of the dynamics of the value dynamics, of the price dynamics are actually exactly happening. We saw a lot of institutional buyers. We saw a lot of money printing happening. We saw a lot of inflation. Suddenly, the value, and I made several videos where I talked about this, I think at the moment the value in Bitcoin is probably at least 50, 60, 70,000. That's its fair value right now. Now, obviously, over time, the more people come in, the network gets larger, more money printing is happening. I can easily see the price go maybe a bit over the value, but I can also see the value going up. So I wouldn't be surprised that prices of a couple $100,000 this year, simply because price and value are going to keep going up. But so if you just look at this right now, actually price to value, it's way cheaper to buy Bitcoin right now than it was a year ago. Very few people understand this, especially very unsophisticated retail investors don't really understand this. A lot of the institutional buyers, a lot of the smart buyers, they totally understand this. And that is one of the reasons why they actually keep gobbling up. So yes, you can see a bit of the correction, and that's just because people take profits, and that's normal. But if you consider this, and this is a key thing, if you don't just have a time horizon like a goldfish and you just think of the next 2 days or the next week, but you actually think in months and years, it makes way more sense to buy Bitcoin right now than it did a year ago. Difficult to understand, but that's just because today you have 1 year more experience than you had a year ago. And well, actually, for example, it was a horrible decision in comparison today to buy Bitcoin in 2011. Now, I know that now, 10 years later, you're like, how? Well, the Bitcoin went up like 1,000x. Sure, with the information you have looking back. But at that point, it was a super risky gamble, and no institutional investor would have kind of dared to step in there. I hope you kind of understand it a bit. So that's a bit of the kind of reason on why this dipped. A bit of the long-term kind of idea here, right? So that's really, really important. Midterm, long-term, very, very bullish. Let's look at some of the short-term numbers here. And I just briefly want to do a screen share. And key thing here, this is really about my 3 top holdings, right? So obviously, probably people have like hundreds of different coins. I just want to cover my 3 top holdings. So that's Bitcoin, DeFi Chain, Ethereum. And yeah, you can do this for yourself for any other coin. Yeah, so Bitcoin, it's about down 13%. Well, we had quite a drop, obviously, from 42,000, which on CoinPaprika is the listed all-time high here. So obviously, definitely like a setback in total, I would say about 20%, right? So that's been the dip here in all of that. Now, if I look here at the chart, there's a daily, and again, I'm not a day trader, so that's why I like to look at daily charts. To be honest, I prefer actually weekly or monthly charts, right? So that's even more relevant at least in my idea. I don't see the reason on why I need to look at this on an hourly or whatever. It's actually, if I look on a weekly chart, right, the last time we actually seen such a strong candle, man, that was in March, right, in a total. Now, obviously here the price was way lower, so back then this was pretty much the entire kind of price in Bitcoin. Don't forget that, right? So we're dropping here by 6,000, but back then the price just was slightly over 8,000, so that was kind of the same thing. But if you look at it in kind of percentages here, probably beginning of September, then here beginning of December, I made an X here, because if you look at the daily, then well, the last time we had this was yeah, kind of a month ago, bit more, 5-6 weeks, right? To me, a totally normal healthy correction. I mean, if you go back here a bit from October, right, we had this massive run up, and then this was kind of a bit of a big drop here, and then it just took a little bit of a break, and well, you know the rest here, right? If I look at, well, let's say DeFi Chain, my second largest holding, yeah, very similar, yeah, very similar pattern. You can see this there. It's been a bit below Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, been outperforming Ethereum, obviously very strong over the past months, right? It's about let's say about 20% from its all-time high, so very similar actually as Bitcoin. Ethereum, pretty much the same story. So that all-time high has not been reached. So it was around 1,300. So kind of the same, right? So again, $200 down. So also 20% in total. Yeah, if we look at the technicals, right? And so let's go a bit into the short term here. You can do the same thing on TradingView. You just go to TradingView and you check this out, and you can see Bitcoin, the summaries, buys, strong buys. Everything is very bullish. That is for DeFi Chain, actually the exact same story, right? A lot of bullish signals. Ethereum, same story, very bullish. So yeah, why am I showing you all this? I'm showing you all this because obviously many times people get really nervous when they see like a 20% drop and they're like, what's going to happen? Is it going to stay at that level? Is it a good time right now to buy? Or are we going to see this full correction? Are we going to see minus 40%? Big reminder, on the way up, right? You can look back in 2016, 2017, Bitcoin had these 20, 25% drops on a regular basis. This is the drop you need to expect. And also, I don't see, so let's compare, right? Let's compare 2 days ago with today. Let's do the same thing as we did with looking backwards 2000 1 year ago and today. Let's do the exact same thing. Is it a better time to buy today than it was 2 days ago? Well, the thing is, again, it's way better to buy today than 2 days ago, but for a completely different reason. If we compare 1 year ago to today, the reason why it's better to buy today is because the value went up so much. It went up more than the price. But so from 2 days ago to today, the value stayed the same. Nothing changed when it comes to value. But the price dropped by 20%. So you're getting not exactly 20% more, but you're getting significantly more than if you had bought 2 days ago. So here is the if-then scenarios right now. If you're sitting there and you want to sell now, but you didn't want to sell 2 days ago, that makes no sense. Zero. Like, you really need to work on your decision making here. This makes zero sense, right? If you sit here and all you're like, hey, I couldn't care less. I have a time horizon of months and years. Fantastic. Great. Best idea. If you sit there and you thought about buying 2 days ago, but now you're not thinking of buying, again, you need to work on your decision making. Because now you should actually wanted to buy way more than you wanted 2 days ago. And again, if you have cash on the sidelines right now and you wanted to deploy it or you're thinking about it, of course it's possible for the prices to go lower, but I'm telling you, the prices to go up are way more likely over the, let's say over the next 6 months, it's way more likely that you're going to see prices higher than today than not. And at the end, that's all you care about investing. You don't care about getting the bottom. All you care about is getting prices that are more expensive than today. And I'm very confident on all the 3 coins that I just showed you that we're going to see this. And the fundamentals are there, the technicals are there. So yeah, I would be feeling very comfortable in deploying extra cash if this is what you actually have been interested in general as well. So with this, I hope that gives you a bit of some ideas, decision making, maybe also some grounding. Let me know if you have any questions. Post in the comments below. If you love this stuff, please give me a thumbs up. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, click to subscribe, click to follow, and then I'll see you next time. With this, I appreciate it. Hope that gives you some insights. Thanks so much. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.